In this video, we're going to talk about some of the tangency options you have when creating your swept surfaces. So let's take a look at this example. We're going to sweep this arc along this path, and we're going to use a guide curve. So when you're using your guide curve, of course, you have options that we've already talked about. You can follow the path, you can keep the normal constant, you can follow the path on the guide curve, but at the bottom, you have tangency options. So the tangency is going to be based on the path. For instance, if we add a start tangency type of path tangent, it's actually creating a tangency that's going to run along the length of your new surface based on your path. Now, in this case, our path is a straight line that's off to the left of our profile. Same thing with the end tangency type. It's going to add a path tangency. Now, in this case, based on our geometry, the end tangency type doesn't really induce any extra curvature because of our guide curve is off on the left-hand side. But adding the path tangency to the beginning has a drastic effect on the change in our surface. Now, this changes depending on the type of orientation options you use. For instance, when we select none and we use follow path, you can see that the guide curve is introducing a lot of curvature into our surface. And if we add tangency based on the path, then it really introduces a small ripple in the bottom. We add tangency to the end, you can see again, it doesn't really do much in this case. So if we select none, we go back and we do keep normal constant and change our tangency type. It introduces a little bit more curvature. It's a little bit smoother, but again, the drastic effect isn't there because we have this guide curve. If we go to follow our first guide curve, that's where we really introduce a lot of curvature. And again, it's important to understand these options and how they are going to affect your surfaces when you start creating them. So keep in mind that you always have these orientation options here, such as keep the normal constant, follow the path, twist along path, which will allow you to twist your profile along the path, and they will change the options you have for your start and end tangency. So you can see here as we twist along the path, we don't have any tangency options. You really need to go back to your follow path or path and guide curves and profiles and so on to really introduce the curvature changes inside your surfaces.